Welcome back to another interesting tutorial about Camtasia video editing software. In this video, I will show you a complete guide to your timeline in Camtasia video editing software. Everything you need to know about timeline editing workflow. So let's see. Like for instance, I have this particular clip in my timeline right here. One of the things you can do in your timeline here is that you can create as many as possible tracks. So here I have track 1, I have track 2. So for you to create multiple tracks, you can easily come to the top right here. Click on this plus sign. The more you click, the more you have many tracks right here. So I have about 5 tracks right here in my timeline, just like so. Okay, now another thing you can do with your timeline here is that once you create a multiple timeline, you can drag as many as possible video clip into different timeline right here. Now we have about 5 timeline right here, but we have about just 3 video clips in each of the timeline. So let's see how we can simply remove some of the unused track right here. For that, just go ahead and right click on your timeline. You have so many options right here. Then from the timeline right here, you can go ahead and click on remove all empty tracks. Then everything collapse to the useful timeline that you are working with. Just like what you see right here, we have track 2, track 1, and track 3. Just like so. Okay, now let's say for instance you want to delete any of the track right here. What you need to do is select on the track and press delete key on your keyboard. The timeline, the media clip in that timeline is going to be deleted. If you want to bring it back, just press Ctrl Z, then it's back. Then one more thing we can do with our timeline right here. Let's say we want to have advanced more preview in our timeline. So go ahead and select a clip. Then you want to come to the top right here. So you can drag this slider right here. The more you drag to the top, the more you have the audio wave on the clip. The more you scroll down, and then you have this tiny like this. Everything depends on you. If you are satisfied with the audio wave, then you are good to go. So you can see how my timeline become more wide right here. One more thing you can do here is you can zoom in and zoom out to your timeline in Camtasia video editing software. This particular button minus right here, it simply means that you are trying to zoom out. The more you click, the more you zoom out. If you want to zoom in, click on this plus sign there. It means you want to zoom in, and then here, zoom out. Just like so. Then if you want to return back to normal timeline expansion, come down right there. The more you drag, the more the timeline is going to adjust, just like what you have right here. It's that simple. Now let's say you want to cut some clip from your timeline. So what you want to do here is to select the area you want to cut. Like for instance, if I want to cut from the starting point to this particular where my playhead ends right here. So I want to cut that. What we want to do is to release our playhead. We come to the top right here in the timeline, click on here, and then we have split the clip into 2. So we can select the one that we want to delete. Let's say we want to delete this one, select on the clip and press delete key on your keyboard, and then that is gone and gone for good. Okay, so let's say we want to work on this particular clip right here in the timeline. We can select on it. We want to see how we can copy and paste from one timeline to another timeline. What we want to do here is to come to the top right here. We have this icon, which means copy. Once we copy, then we can see how we can paste this particular clip right here. We can decide to paste this clip in another track, and for that, what we want to do is to come to the top right here, create and add a new track. Then we can select on the empty track, we right click, then we make sure we look for paste right here. Or better still, we can use this button right here, which is also known as paste. Once you click on paste, then the clip is going to be pasted right here, just like what you see right here. So this is how to copy and paste a clip from one track to another track in the timeline right here in Camtasia video editing software. One more thing we can do here is that we can decide to hide, we can decide to lock track. For that, if you want to lock a track here, what you need to do is to make sure you click on this padlock right there. This means you lock track. If you see, you can see right here, once you lock a track, you won't be able to move the track from one place to another, as the case may be. If you want to hide a track, you want a track to be invisible, what you need to do is to select the track, then click on this eye icon. The track will be invisible. Why you are seeing some of the track in this regard here is that because every video I'm using here are all the same. So if I decide to select all this track right here, and I decide to press the delete key on my keyboard, then it has been successfully deleted. Then here, we still have a track that has been locked. So if I decide to unlock this track again and then I decide to disable this, it means that we have empty in the preview. If I unlock again, it come up again. If I hide again, and if I unhide, so that is how to hide, how to lock in the timeline as far as Camtasia video editing software. So let's see how we can insert. So if you want to insert another media file right here, what we want to do is to right click on the track right here. When you right click on the track, you have so many options right here. So we want to insert track right here. So we want to insert track to below. So click on below. So we have another track right here. Okay. So we want to select on this on the track right here, or better still, we can drag another clip into the timeline right here. Okay. So we want to right click again in the timeline. Here we can decide to move track up or down. So we can decide to move to the top right here. So the track will be moved to the top, just like what you see right here. So if we right click on the track again, there are a lot of things you can do when you right click on the clip in the timeline. One of them is you can cut, you can copy, you can paste, you can duplicate, you can delete, you can re-put delete. You can also hide some property of the clip. So if I click on hide property, you see that the property of the video clip has been hidden. So you can click on property icon again. This brings out your property as far as Camtasia video editing software timeline is concerned. So this is what I have for you as far as everything you need to know about timeline in Camtasia video editing software. For more tutorial tips and tricks on how best to use your Camtasia video editing software, consider to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye for now.